Welcome back. You've probably started something like this before, full of hope for a week, and then life got loud and it quietly slipped away. Not because you didn't care, because no one ever showed you how to make it stick. So let me do that now. So, this isn't about trying harder. Because, friends, if trying harder was the answer, you would have arrived long ago. Because the difference between people who feel better and people who don't usually isn't talent. And it isn't even how heavy their stress was. It always comes down to a few small habits in how they use something like this. So let me hand those to you now, gently, so you don't have to learn them the hard way. And let's start with something that I've always believed in, and that is little and often will always beat big and rare. Few minutes on most days will do far more for you than one long hour once in a while. Your mind changes through repetition and never through intensity. See, think of a path through grass. It doesn't appear because someone walked it once with great effort. It appears because feet crossed it lightly again and again. So please don't wait for a free evening to do this properly, because there's no properly. There's only today's few minutes. And then comes the next important part, and that is anchor it to something you already do. So don't rely on remembering, because remembering is the first thing stress quietly steals away from you. Instead, you attach a session to a habit you already have. So, for example, after I pour my morning coffee, I listen. On my walk, I listen. Or right before I brush my teeth at night, I listen. So, the idea is glue it to something you never miss, and it carries itself. The habit you already own will do the remembering for you. And then actually do the small practice. And this is the one people skip. When I say try this now, notice the urge to just listen politely and move on. I do it too. It feels productive to understand a thing, but friends, understanding alone changes very little. As an example, you can know exactly how a muscle grows and still stay exactly as you are until you lift the thing. Even at work, we say, we can learn a lot of things, we can train ourselves. Unless we apply, it doesn't work. Because these tools only work in the doing. Even a clumsy, half-hearted attempt does more than a perfect understanding you never use. So, whenever a practice comes, let it be a little awkward. Awkward and done will beat neat and imagined every single time. And then be patient with the fog, because some days you'll feel calmer straight away, other days you'll feel nothing, or maybe even a little stirred up. Because we are touching real things, and that's normal. And it surely doesn't mean it's not working. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. Because remember, feelings arrive on their own schedule, never on ours. So judge this the way you would judge getting fitter at a gym or your normal exercise routine. Not by how you feel after one session, but by how you're doing across a few weeks. And most important, friends, is keep the lightest possible record. You don't need a full journal that's full of feelings. Unless you'd like one, of course you can do that. Just every now and then, jot a single line. Give yourself a score out of 10 or a small thing that you noticed about yourself. For example, I give myself 7 out of 10. I didn't spiral before the call. Because stress plays a cruel trick. It convinces you nothing is improving, even when it is. And on a hard day, your mind will swear you've not made any progress at all. And then a few old notes are proof that it will not be able to argue with, because they are a message from a past version of you saying quietly, keep going, it's working. And then you go gently. So even if a session ever stirs up more than you expected, you're allowed to pause, breathe, and come back another time. Because this is care, friends, not a boot camp. So pushing through pain is not a virtue here. And if you miss a day, a week, or a month, you've not failed. Because beginning again is a skill as well. And it might be the most important one. So, here is today's one small thing. And it may be the most useful thing you do all session. Decide right now when your next session will happen and what you'll attach it to. So say to yourself, I'll listen after or before I, and then there is a blank. Fill in that blank before you finish this recording, not later, now, while it's easy. And that single decision, turning someday into after my morning coffee, is what quietly separates the people this helps from the people it doesn't. You've got this. Go make your plans. I'll see you at the next one. Until then, take care of yourself.